The 2026 MG4 EV Urban and the 2026 BYD Dolphin are two of the most compelling options for city-dwelling EV buyers. While they occupy a similar footprint on the road, they have evolved to serve completely different personalities. The MG4 Urban is an entirely different beast from the standard MG4. It trades its sporty rear-wheel drive setup for a lighter, more affordable front-wheel drive platform optimized specifically for budget-conscious city drivers. Meanwhile, the BYD Dolphin continues to double down on plush, tech-heavy premium comfort. Here is how these two wonderful small city hatchbacks stack up. Interior comfort, space, and technology. Dolphin's quirky tech oasis. Step inside the BYD and you are greeted by an ocean-inspired aesthetic, playful shapes, and its famous 12.8-inch rotating touchscreen. The Dolphin feels incredibly airy thanks to its taller roofline, giving rear passengers excellent headroom. MG4's no-nonsense practicality. The MG4 Urban opts for a minimalist, clean, and driver-focused cabin. While it feels a bit more traditional than the BYD, it crushes the Dolphin in cargo capacity. The MG4 Urban offers a massive 470 liters of boot space compared to the Dolphin's 345 liters, making it much more practical for grocery hauls or luggage. Performance and driving dynamics. The BYD Dolphin is the stoplight king. With 204 HP and 310 Nm of torque, the Dolphin Premium handles a 0 to 100 km/h sprint in just 7 seconds flat. It is visibly punchier when merging or zipping away from city intersections. The MG4 Urban keeps it steady, by moving the motor to the front wheels and reducing power compared to the standard MG4. The Urban trim hits 0 to 100 km/h in a more relaxed 9.5 seconds. It won't push you back into your seat, but it delivers smooth, linear power perfectly suited for urban commutes. Ride character. The Dolphin is tuned entirely for a soft, easygoing ride that irons out harsh city potholes, though its steering is light and lacks road feedback. The MG4 Urban, despite losing its fancy rear-wheel drive suspension layout to save weight and cost, still retains a slightly more mature and structured European chassis feel. Range, efficiency, and charging. Range. Both cars are closely matched. The Dolphin Premium squeaks out a tiny victory with an official WLTP range of 427 km, while the MG4 Urban long range tracks right behind it at roughly 415 km. Note, the base MG4 Urban standard range drops to 201 miles/323 km. Charging speed. Neither car is a motorway speed charging champion, but both are plenty fast for city life. The MG4 Urban tops out around 87 kilowatts, and the Dolphin peaks at 80 kilowatts. Both will replenish from 10% to 80% in roughly 30 minutes on a public DC rapid charger. Vehicle to load. V2L. Both vehicles support V2L technology, effectively turning your hatchback into a giant mobile power bank to run laptops, camping gear, or appliances. The verdict: which is right for you? Choose the 2026 MG4 EV Urban if you want maximum value for money, need a much larger trunk for daily errands, and prefer a more understated, mature design. It is significantly cheaper up front while giving up very little practical range. Choose the 2026 BYD Dolphin if you want snappy, quick acceleration, love a high-tech interior with a massive rotating screen, and prioritize a soft, cushy ride with plenty of rear headroom. Which of these two approaches appeals more to your daily driving style, the tech-forward pep of the Dolphin or the budget-friendly practicality of the MG4 Urban? To truly separate these two urban runabouts, we need to dive into the finer ownership details, how they handle real-world traffic, the frustrating parts of their tech, what it's like to live with their safety systems, and how they protect your wallet over time. Here is a deeper, microscopic look at the 2026 MG4 EV Urban versus the 2026 BYD Dolphin. Ergonomics and everyday infotainment. While both cars feature large modern displays, the daily user experience inside the cabins couldn't be more different. BYD Dolphin, the screen gimmick versus software depth. The headline-grabbing 12.8-inch rotating screen is a fun trick to show passengers. Putting it in portrait mode is great for navigation maps, but it physically blocks a portion of your forward left visibility. Furthermore, if you plug in Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the system forcibly reverts to landscape anyway. The Dolphin's menu maze. BYD relies heavily on the screen. Adjusting the climate control or turning off driver assists on the move requires tapping tiny icons. On the plus side, the unique barrel physical switches on the center console, for shifting gears and audio volume, feel tactile and high quality. MG4 EV Urban, the clean sweep for 2026, the MG4 Urban gets a massive interior upgrade, inheriting a matching 12.8-inch central touchscreen and a crisp 7-inch driver's display. Unlike the BYD, MG keeps a reassuring row of physical shortcut buttons directly below the screen for climate control and basic audio. It makes adjusting the cabin temperature infinitely easier while driving. Real-world ride comfort in highway cruising. City cars are meant for urban tarmac, but they occasionally have to stretch their legs on the highway. In the city, the BYD Dolphin is softer, floating over minor road ripples like a larger car. However, it can sometimes feel crashy and thud sharply when dropping into deep, sudden city potholes. The MG4 Urban sits on a slightly firmer, more European-tuned suspension. It feels more stable over speed bumps and keeps its body flatter around roundabouts. On the highway, this is where the gap widens. The Dolphin's soft suspension causes it to lean heavily, body roll, in fast corners. At highway speeds, it can feel a bit floaty, requiring constant minor steering corrections to keep it centered in the lane. The MG4 Urban feels far more planted, tracked, and reassuring at 110 km per hour, making it the superior choice if your commute involves cross-city motorways. The safety tech annoyance factor. Both vehicles carry maximum 5-star Euro NCAP safety ratings, but the way they enforce that safety can impact your daily driving sanity. BYD's over-intrusive nannies, the Dolphin is notorious for hypersensitive safety alerts. The lane keep assist can aggressively yank the steering wheel if it thinks you are getting too close to a line, and the driver monitoring system will beep at you just for checking your blind spot too long. Turning these off requires diving deep into the touchscreen menus every single time you start the car. MG4's custom solution, MG addresses this with its MG Pilot custom suite. While the lane assistance can still be intrusive, the 2026 MG4 Urban allows you to customize your preferred assistance levels and save them. It actually remembers your settings the next time you turn the car on, sparing you from a pre-flight menu routine. Practicality, cabin space, and geometry. Passenger packaging, the BYD Dolphin utilizes its tall, EV-dedicated platform brilliantly. Because it has a flat floor and a higher roofline, rear seat legroom and headroom are shockingly good. It honestly feels roomier in the back than many cars from the class above. Adults will prefer riding in the back of the Dolphin over the MG4.